everybody, Ethan here. So this video is going to be an introduction to the trip that my dad and I took back in October of 2017. We didn't really do any YouTubing or videoing or anything like that because it wasn't really on our mind at that point. Now moving forward, we want to get into doing the videos and everything like that. Planning the trip in October, we did, we decided that we were going to do it back in Christmas time, 2016. We started talking back and forth, and then it was really May, early June when we really decided it, when we booked the campgrounds and stuff to go, and at that point, it turned into, okay, well, now we really need to buckle down and get the gear and start training and everything like that. So there was, a lot of conversations back and forth with us, talking about gear, watching YouTube videos, and planning out meals and training and everything like that. For me, here in Phoenix, I had Piestewa Peak, which is like 1,200 elevation, over about 1.5 miles. So I did that a few times, going up there. First few times it was just, the first time I went up I only made it a quarter of the way, maybe a little more. And then after that I made it up to the peak, very victorious that first time, because that is not a fun peak to do, especially if you haven't hiked in a while. Because it'd been like probably a good 10 years since I hiked. And then from there it was, going up, just getting used to hiking again. After a couple of times I added in the Freedom Loop that goes around the mountain. And then my 7th time going up there, I actually did 7 and 8 back to back. Because I was told that if I could do the peak twice, back to back like that, then Grand Canyon would be doable. So 7 and 8 were back to back, and that was actually the week prior to my dad coming into town. Dad did training out there in St. Louis, Missouri, kind of all over the place depending on where he was and what time he had free. So he did a bunch of different training out there, and from what I know, he did a bunch of length hikes because he didn't really have a lot of elevation gains there in St. Louis. But once Dad flew in here to Phoenix, he picked him up Saturday the 21st of October, and we went disc golfing, which is another pastime that we do. Hung out with my roommates, had dinner, and then got up to the hotel, reorganized his suitcase and everything, because everything came in the suitcase, so he had to put everything back into his backpack for the hike, and we left the suitcase in my car then. And then Sunday morning we got up, 22nd, got up, hiked the Piestewa Peak, because I wanted to show Dad the peak that I've been training on, and he said it was very different from what he's got out there in St. Louis, and very different as far as the challenge level to it. He said it was pretty challenging for not having that type of terrain, because it's very rocky, the desert and everything here. Here's a couple of photos of Dad climbing the Piestewa Peak, and then here's one of us up at the top of the peak. We got up to the Grand Canyon, checked into Mather Campground, set up camp, and then kind of went off and explored a little bit. Went over to the general store, hung out, and went and had dinner over at the Yavapai Lounge, Yavapai Lodge. We split a baby back ribs. So we split dinner there. And then we went to a ranger program at Shrine of the Ages, talking about the endangerment of the Colorado River and how the water shortage across the United States has caused a lot of damage to the Colorado River, and how it's now on the endangerment list, or is close to being on the endangerment list, I believe, because of it being one of the main water sources in the Southwest region. Monday morning, we got up and took a shuttle over to the South Kaibab Visitor Center, well, all the way over to the South Kaibab Trailhead, and we took the Rim Trail across from South Kaibab to Bright Angel Trailhead. It was 4.5 miles. We did stop at the main visitor center, checked out one of the videos there talking about the age of the Grand Canyon and how the Grand Canyon formed and everything like that. And it was actually really cool because at the end of the video, watching the credits, one of our very close friends from high school who does filmography was credited in the video, so that was pretty cool to see. Stopped by the Ver Camps and the Hoppy House, and then at the end right there at our Bright Angel Lodge, we went and kind of looked in at the Kolb Studio. And then that night we had pizza over at the Mazwag Lodge food court. So that was kind of fun. Built up our carbs. Got the pizza to get the carbs in before we got up Tuesday morning and hiked. So yeah, we had a lot of fun because we got to see kind of the trail, kind of looking down. Got to kind of scope out the trail and see where Cedar Ridge was, Ooh Point was. You kind of see like where the drop off for Skeleton Point. Got to see a part of the river, very like piece of it. And then you can kind of see where the Bright Angel Campground was, and Indian Garden Campground, and the Bright Angel Trail, and so you can kind of see these different points, which was kind of cool to see. Walking the Rim Trail, you could see different aspects of it, so that was pretty cool. Dad and I are back on the shuttle, headed back out to the main visitors center lookout point to check out the sunset. So yeah, that's it for the Sunday Monday video. I'm going to work on the Tuesday video now. Yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, follow the Fosses.